clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift.
Lara
As
Doran.
for what the hunt wishes to do with that gift, I prefer not to think about it, really.
For those who don't get that name reference, it's from Witcher 1. The myth, the story of Lara Doran, or whatever. Human woman, elven male, or human male, elven woman. I think it was elven woman. Basically, she was just. Remember Triss describing her as a genealogical gold mine or something? Basically, anyone descendant from her, and basically descendant from her, has incredible magical gifts. They're of some special lineage, and they're incredibly gifted with magic. Ciri apparently is. Remember Alvin from Witcher 1? He was as well. I bet that was why he could overpower the that necklace that was meant to keep his powers under control. Like why he could overpower that, while Phillip Eilhart couldn't. Or maybe it was just because there was more in the restraining gauntlet bracers than in his necklace. One or the other. But then again, Triss couldn't breach the necklace to scan the Grand Master. I've spoiled Witcher 1 on you, but you should have already watched it. So either, basically, it's not a fair comparison, or it's a fair comparison and Alvin was actually that much more powerful than Eilhart. One or the other.
So where's Ciri been seen exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords? Secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
The way Geralt said, sure should be happy to see me about Triss. I romanced Triss. I've, chosen her. Why? Something must have happened in the preceding, after Witcher 2, before Witcher 3. Something must have happened.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse? Let's drop it, alright? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
I can see I'm going to enjoy her character.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, alright? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting.
And it's not like only he lost his memory, she lost hers too. So... yeah, like she... Please, you're making a mess. You're also running away with a ton of his books. I'm stealing so much stuff from here. Yennefer, my dear friend, thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering. Oh, yeah, also... Who is this? Vigo. She lost her memory too. She's... you know, like Geralt, she had no memory, so it's just... she's giving him shit for the same thing that happened to her. This seems... dickish. I can understand her being hurt. I can. But at the same time... you know... she lost her memory too. And she was trying to seduce a guy as well. She, you know, it's not like she lost her memory except for Geralt. No. Thank you for your letter. Forgive me for not answering your earlier attempt to reach me via Megascope. I'm trying to limit my magic communication to an absolute minimum. No one knows who is listening. Don't you agree? I'm glad you have found a position at our most gracious Emperor's court, and wish you best luck in the search for his daughter. It's good that Amir's intentions for her have become more, how shall I put it, mundane. Perhaps in these circumstances, an agreement regarding the lodge will prove possible after all. In response to your first question, I can state beyond all doubt that Ciri has not appeared anywhere south of the Yaruga. Believe me, I could recognize her magical signature in my sleep. I've not had any contact with Triss for a long time, and I know that things in Novigrad have taken an ill turn. She mentioned something earlier about fleeing to Kovere, but I'm afraid that in the current political climate, that amounts to an impossible daydream. I hope I will soon be able to join you in Vizima. First, I must take care of some unfortunately urgent matters in Beauclair. My fondest regards, Frilga Vigo. Thank you for the news about Geralt. He always seems to land on his feet, doesn't he? And since we only go to the palace of here, rather than the, like on the map, it's only the palace, and not the city of Vizima. Books though on me stealing the other one. Got the split bolt diagram, which is cool. Alright. A few books to read. She Who Knows. Folks say they were four at first. The mother, She Who Knows, the Lady of the Wood, came here from a faraway land, and since she suffered terribly from loneliness, she made 3 daughters out of dirt and water. Long time ago, the mother was the sole ruler of all of Velen. Her daughters brought her the people's requests and served as her voice. Each spring, sacrifices of grain, animals, and men were taken to Lady of the Wood on her special night. Yet as the years passed, Lady of the Wood slipped deeper and deeper into madness. Eventually madness spread over the land. Men took to abandoning homes, setting out into the bog, where they became food for beasts. For long, Velen was drowning in blood. The daughters saw their land nearing destruction, took upon themselves to save it. When spring came once more, with the night of sacrifices, they killed their mother and buried her in the bog. Her blood watered the oak atop Ard Carbon, and from then on the tree grew wholesome and hearty fruit for the people. As for the lady's immortal soul, refused to leave its beloved land, and so the sisters imprisoned it. It's to this day it's trapped beneath the whispering hillock, where trash is about in rage. brother missing. We've already done that. Cirilla Fiona Ellen Rioan, born in 1251, heiress to the throne of Serinta, Princess of Brugge and Duchess of Sodden, heiress to Inns Ard Scalig and Inns An Scalig, and suzerain of Ater and Abjarn, daughter of Pavetta and the urchin of Ernwald, the Urcon of Ernwald, the Emperor. Granddaughter of the famous Lioness of Sintra, Queen Santa Selenta. I don't know how to say these names. Shipwreck occurred during a journey from Sintra to Scalig, which took the lives of the Urchin Pavetta. Cyrilla's father's upbringing was then entrusted. Further upbringing was then entrusted to her grandmother. In 1260, afraid of the looming Nilfgaardian threat, the Queen sent Cyrilla to the court of King Yavir of Verden, where the heiress of Sintra was to marry the heir to the throne of Verden, Prince Christian. Though allying with Verden and gaining the aided realm's army was at the top of her priority, no marriage ever occurred. Cyrilla returned to her grandmother's court. In 1262, the so-called Sintra massacre, Cyrilla went missing. During it went missing. You can actually see it in the book, in one of the Witcher books, from her perspective. She's actually a big POV character. These books are about as much her as Geralt. I remember someone saying it's more about her than Geralt, but I'm not sure if that's quite accurate. A lot that he does in the books is to help her. Like, you see him, he's trying to gain money to pay some people, lawyers that are helping him out with something. So he's off doing contracts and taking down different people. Even someone, I think, that called themselves the Professor, he kills and collects a bounty on. All to try and help her. Because he knew some people after her, and he's paying these people to dig into her. They were actually mentioned in Witcher 1 that, I remember the detective Raymond, he used to work for them. Who are the hunters, you ask? Folk like you and yours, I reply. The decent kind, hater of lies, doers of good. The kind who live according to God's laws, and nature's laws too. Those disgusted by the machinations of witches, magicers, and non-humans. All that separates us from common folk is that we have the courage to take up arms, defend our lands from evil, to slice out the gangrene that eats us from within. We have no leader. We haven't forts or lands, though God-fearing Radovid supports us with his gold at times. We've not sworn him or any ruler any oath. We serve only the eternal fire. We will listen only to our own conscience. Who can join us? Any who's right of soul and sound of body. You can find us in every larger city in the north. We'll give you board, lodging, and a weapon. We'll explain how to spot the telltale signs of evil, birthmarks in strange and arcane shapes, smooth skin on a matron aged more than 30 springs. 30 springs? No, she could have just aged well. There's some people who age well. And Black Cat, well. Yeah, there's some people that just age well. Like, they could be 31 and, oh, you aren't covered in wrinkles. Must light on fire. And then, just twitching out. Black cats kept in the yard, to name but a few. I've got a fucking black cat downstairs. Still can't do fucking magic. For that I'm glad, because I was gesturing in the direction of my computer. Kinda would hate if I just suddenly fire, and it's like shit. Like, and if I directed that, at fire extinguisher, spray. We will show you how to defend yourself from witchcraft, how to tame and snuff out magic elements with deuterium. We will instruct, remember that was Alvin's necklace was made out of. He was able to overpower that, while Phillip Elhart couldn't overpower the deuterium bracelets, handcuffs. Maybe there's more deuterium, or maybe it was a pure batch or something. It was never stipulated. But I would imagine maybe there's more deuterium in the handcuffs than in the necklace. But there's enough deuterium in the necklace to cloak Alvin from Triss. To cloak his power level from Triss. So, yeah, that's just got me wondering. Or maybe that was less the deuterium necklace and more his own power cloaking itself. I'm not sure. We'll instruct you how to squeeze the sinner's darkest secrets out of them with a hot iron, and how to grant them cleansing death with the help of sacred fire. The Wild Hunt. From farmers, herdsmen, milkmaids to midwives, all the common folk of the continent whisper, sharing tales of a wraithly procession pounding across the sky. The Wild Hunt, they call it. Winds and gales, storms and blizzards arise when it is sighted. All grows cold, though the sun shone bright moments before. Some remember only the cold from the shock of the encounter, and claim the riders always come in winter. But nay, this is not so. The hunt brings its own ice. Death and war gallop in its wake, or so the superstition goes. Though evil enough is the hunt itself. Takes folk captive, youths most often, the prime of their wilding years, with 10 to 20 summers behind them. The hunt rushes in and they disappear, when they return long years later, no memory of what passed in the time between. The collective verse of Gonzalo de Verso. To love is to build a house of cards, to play a game of chess. But one wrong word or ill-taught move, and you must start it all afresh. Tide. Whenever I watch the tide recede, cold coils of fear grip around my heart. Will the seas sneak back, calm and sure, in the dark of night, as they have before? Or will they stay on distant shores, leaving crushed shells and washed up dreams, as memory of serfs of yore? Human life requires three things for its sustenance: food, drink, and gossip. It is thus no wonder that no matter where I travel, be it the icebound Provis or evergreen Toussaint, everyone brings me the passions that bind Geralt and the sorceress Yennefer of Venderberg. As a man both cautious and discreet, I refuse to betray their secrets, with one important exception. The history of their first encounter is so extraordinary, so romantic and moving, it would be a veritable crime to hide its light beneath a bushel basket. Indeed, had I not witnessed these events in person, I would never believed there was room in our grim, dark world for such fantastic marvels. It all began when Geralt and I, feeling a bit peckish and unburdened by heavy coin and pouches, decided to fish our supper out of a lake. No bites were to be had, but we did not leave empty-handed. My hook snagged quite a lovely little pot. Oblivious to my friend's warnings, I opened it, and in doing so freed a powerful djinn. While giving him a thought, I set about proclaiming my wishes. Before I got to tree, however, the djinn, irritated I see now in hindsight, being issued to the man so soon after waking, began to throttle me. Geralt was able to drive him off, but I was left in a sorry state. I acted, the Witcher told me later, under the influence of some curse. Clearly, the help of an expert in the magic arcana will be needed. It was her good fortune that Yennefer of Venderberg happened to be staying in a nearby village. Geralt went to ask her, went her to ask that she heal his best friend, who also happened to be the brightest star in the North's poetic firmament. Yennefer, however, was more interested in a djinn, which she wanted to trap into magical servitude, than its victim, and it should be said, played the Witcher like a well-strung mandolin. Yet rather than grow angry at being used in such a calculating manner, he fell white head over muddy boots in love with her. Well, then, what happened then? Well, I won't go into details. Suffice to say that Yennefer's plans hardly delighted the djinn. Without its cooperation, she proved unable to tame it. The sorceress would surely have met a tragic end, taking all the wind along with her, had Geralt not rushed to her rescue. For once, he did not need to draw out of his weights. To send the djinn packing, he had but to pronounce the third and final wish. He could have asked for anything: wealth, fame, power, but instead he asked the djinn to bind his fate to that of the arrogant yet intriguing sorceress of Venderberg. Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount of Lettenhove, born 1232, award-winning poet, playwright, and troubadour. A frequent performer at the courts of Nidimir, Vizimir, Venzaslav, and other notables. Alumnus of Oxford Academy. I was expecting that to be down the line, because it fits. Let's let's not leave there. We can go. Ooh, this is lootable. Yes, I'm robbing them blind. They can suck it.
Ambassador Varatra,